Yeah, a lot of my clients are in fintech, software engineers working with banks.
Yeah.
A lot of the banks have legacy systems and that. So
Mm,
I think it makes it more challenging. Did you go to an IT school in Slovakia? You did a degree in computer
yes.
science?
I studied computer science here in Slovakia, which was a very good level from the IT and math. What was not that good was actually the English.
Hmm.
In Slovakia, you usually study in Slovak language, even the most of the scope from computer science speaking like common language is usually English. We were, like coding in English, but not that much communicating as all the subjects were in Slovak language. Also the exams. That's why I decided to spend 1 year abroad as exchange Erasmus student in the Netherlands, where it's much better that
Right,
you can study there in English many subjects, and this was
right,
also challenging but very good experience that
right.
like it boosts my English very much, maybe even more than the years spent in school before the high school or some first level school or so.
Right. So did the people in the Netherlands speak good English?
Yes, I think so. Yes,
Yeah.
it's for them. It's very common, I think, and it might be caused by many perspectives, but also, like the Netherlands words or the base of the words is maybe similar, much more
Hmm.
similar, maybe to German, also to English,
Yeah.
and other of these languages. But also, I think they are very open to worlds. They also don't dub movies and TV, so they usually have subtitles in their language. In Slovakia, we usually have everything dubbed in Slovak or
Right.
Czech language. It's nice, like you still, like use kind of like your language, but
Right.
we are a small country, so like from the perspective of openness or learning foreign language.
So would you say you kind of moved from a more elementary level of English to a upper intermediate when you were in the Netherlands, and you've
Yes,
kind
I
of
was.
polished your English in the last few years?
Yes, I was at least able to express myself. I
Hmm.
was at least able to not be worried of, like listen to foreign
Right.
people, to be somehow able to understand and communicate, which was the
Hmm.
most important thing. So you can somehow communicate. Maybe your level or expertise is not that high, but at least I was able to do it. And like as a proof was that I was able to make some exams in the language, make some presentation in the language or so. I think it was not that perfect, and it boosted again with my experience at work,
Right.
and also with
Yeah.
the language lessons
Yeah.
with you, that like on a regular basis, that we spend some time also with some challenging words, some new vocabularies, searching for good collocations so that you feel
Yeah.
and present everything more naturally, because you can express yourself, but someone still might have a feeling that you are not foreign, you are not that fluent. They sometimes understand what you said, but you say it in a way that no one from native language would say it.
If we're nervous, our fluency goes down. If we're thinking about accuracy, then fluency goes down. Fluency is what it's about in business, and you're communicating perfect. I use idioms, and much of the time you understand the idiom right away, the phrasal verbs, and this identifies somebody that's really confident in their English and proficient. So that's really great. The main thing is being able to express the message, get the idea across. And
At high school, it was very difficult because we were more focusing, like on grammar and proper English. After some exams, maybe I was still confused, like I was still not understanding grammar that much. And that was not the biggest problem. The biggest problem was that I spent lots of time with it. So I was not able to use the proper grammar and not even able to, like because I spent lots of time with grammar and still not mastering it.
yeah, yeah,
So I think, like as a kid, you first start learning. Maybe you're speaking not that well. Maybe you made lots of mistakes, but you're fluent. You're trying to boost, and then slowly you get better vocabularies. Then slowly you get better, like phrasal verbs and other stuff, and you connect it all together, and then like grammar went as something natural to you. That and like for written English you can still use lots of tools, and I think if you have good experience, you use English longer, you can still see in the sentence that something is wrong, something is not properly written. So, and with this tool and other stuff, you can still see, like and present professional English.
I believe 80% should be natural learning of English or any language. Learn it watching the YouTube, reading, listening to podcasts, all those sorts of things. And then fine tune it with some grammar, but just fine tuning it.
Mm-hmm.
Think about learn a different tense or something, but focusing on grammar, it slows us down. I've found it in Spanish when I was learning Spanish. Get the phonetics down really good. Learn how we use intonation, but just speak. That's just as the way we learned our native language. Any advice you have to people learning English?
Yes, maybe just with your English level, keep like working,
Yeah,
because that's probably the most important. Not get upset if like you see that someone's English is very good, or if you see that like I spent lots of years learning English, or like in professional world I
right.
use English. There are still times when I hear someone somewhere, or I go somewhere, some team building or something, and they completely different vocabularies, then I'm like upset,
Yeah,
because this is
yeah,
something slightly else, so I'm not catching that well. But I think like not keeping with it, just
right.
continuously improving it. If you see some challenge, okay, like
Yeah.
consider it as a challenge, that always try to do your best.
We could
Listening,
be,
but also speaking is
yeah,
important.
we could be professional football players unless we're Macy or somebody. There's always somebody better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We shouldn't compare ourselves to other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a journey, right?
Yeah.
These things, it's continual improvement. Same in your professional life, right? I'm sure you're always working with different software systems and that. You're always learning new things. And English is just a tool for a software professional.
And maybe one more recommendation, try to keep some challenges. You probably don't want to hear always, like the same thing, or it's sometimes very good for you to know to also see some video or read something that is fully understandable for you. It's completely
Yeah.
fine. But I think more importantly to progress, if is to have something that is challenging.
Hmm.
Watching some movies or speaking with someone that you don't fully understand. I think this boosts your performance, because if you're always on the level with others that are below or on your level, you are not progressing. You are somehow, like it's also important step that you are verifying what you learned already. But I think for progress is also important to make some challenges. So take some new vocabularies, watch some movies like without subtitles. If you watch, I don't know, with subtitles and you're confident with that, maybe start to remove it so that you can better, I don't know, catch the words or so, depending on like what's missing you. If you have better listening, maybe something else is
Yeah.
important, reading some books, something more complex,
Yeah.
always trying to get more complex stuff so that you can progress better.
A good exercise for comprehension is to listen to English music and see if you can write the lyrics. It's challenging for the natives. I'd have to
Yeah.
listen to a song, I'd have to listen to it 3 or 4 times. So we have filters in our natural language. But the big thing is to speak the language and listen to others. And I like your idea that we need to be challenged. We need to go beyond what we already know. And it's so common, it's so human like to do what we know well, and just because we're in the comfort zone, so we need to get out of that. How often do you speak to foreign English speakers versus native English speakers, Martin?
I'm not sure 100%, Yeah, most of the people I speak with are not native speakers, but
Right.
there is usually on a call a few people that are native.
Native speakers have a problem often understanding other native speakers. So you put me with a real Scottish person that's not living in Edinburgh or Glasgow, but somebody that's out there, and we'd have a hard time with them. So some people in Canada have strong accents. So thanks very much, Martin, for taking the
Yeah,
time.